Alright, I've got bad news, everybody. I tried to watch the trailer for Unfrosted, and I have just lost the will to do any of this. So, regrettably, the podcast is now cancelled for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, I got bad news, everybody. Rage quit from the trailer, and as such from the podcast.
April Fools 2 days ago, when this comes out.
Yeah. It's like April Fools from Monday. The past.
April Fools from the future.
It's like, but if April Fools, then how does interrupt me again, Reggie? See what happens.
Anyways, welcome to Under the Bridge, everybody.
Welcome to Under the Bridge.
I'm Cody, aka the Scarlet Troll.
And I am Greg, aka Greg.
And this is our podcast where we talk news of the pop culture variety. Sometimes gaming news, sometimes comic news, generally movie news, and pretty much always a movie review.
Indeed.
There, I salvaged the thing from last week. I've turned it into a new edition, because this wasn't long enough.
There, I salvaged the f***ing intro.
Now I gotta bleep that, thanks.
Sorry. You are welcome.
Thanks a lot. Anyways, I got some gaming news that is also kinda comic news.
Oh boy.
Because Marvel has announced that they're making a PvP Overwatch-style 6v6 shooter.
And it looks awful.
I mean, it's not finished.
Fair, but it is a thing. You know what's funny is that I didn't read the press release or anything like that. I just watched the trailer, and then it's like, this is Overwatch. They've actually it looks like they've ripped off Overwatch. And then you say it's like Overwatch inspired. It's like, okay.
Now, there are some things I don't like that I don't think are going to be savable, like some of the voice acting. Case in point, Iron Man's It's Nano Time. What is that? What even is that?
That wasn't great.
That's terrible.
Actually, you know what? There was one character that I was kind of like, I have to ask Cody about.
If you're going to ask me about Luna Snow, do not ask me about Luna Snow. I do not know who that is.
Oh, shit. Okay, then.
I think she was made for another Marvel game, and then kind of appeared in a few comics.
Really?
But that's literally all I know.
Okay, because I was going to say, I was like, oh, Magic, I kind of know who Magic is. Snow? Who the f*** are you? Oh, sorry.
Are we safe yet? There's no way.
No, there's not.
No, I have to flip that again, I think.
Sorry, I was just,
oh, well.
But yeah, when Snow showed up, I was like, who are you? So...
That is the question, isn't it? I don't know. I think she's some kind of, like, pop star with ice powers or something?
Well, it's funny because I did look her up on the Marvel Wiki, and the image that they use for her is just her with, like, kind of snow around her, some kind of frost, but she's got, like, a heart symbol going, and it's like, so you are literally a magical K-pop girl.
Oh dear.
Yeah. That was my takeaway when looking up more about this woman.
So yeah, in addition to Luna Snow and Iron Man, the roster's gonna have Black Panther, Doctor Strange, Groot, Hulk, Loki, Magic, Magneto, Mantis, Namor, Penny Parker for some reason, Rocket Raccoon, Scarlet Witch, Spider-Man, Storm, Star-Lord, and Punisher.
Punisher. Okay, is it bad that Punisher is pretty much the only aspect of this that kind of garners my interest in this game?
I play Loki.
Yeah, but the thing is that my initial impression based off the trailer isn't great.
True.
But I am a sucker for...
Even Galacta didn't get you want to play this game?
Not really, no. Although I have to give credit where credit's due. Props on Marvel for making the first true hero shooter game.
I guess this is that, isn't it?
Yeah, I looked at this like, this is literally a hero shooter. Holy crap, they've done it. I'm surprised no one else has done this.
Son of a gun.
Or if other people have done it, like if DC did something or what have you, I think this is the first one to have actual notoriety. Hopefully, when it does come out, it's received better than the Suicide Squad.
Yeah, here's hoping. Also, here's hoping we get some more characters. I mean, apparently this is a free-to-play game, and I appreciate that. It certainly looks like it plays like one, but...
It gives off strong mobile game vibes, in all honesty.
But... And I also kind of appreciate that there are some really weird, glaring omissions in this roster. Like, there's no Cap, there's no Thor. But, on the other hand, why do you have 4 Guardians?
Because Rocket and Groot are shown, Quill is shown, Who was the fourth one? I guess I missed
Mantis.
that one. Oh, Mantis? Oh, okay.
Yeah, Mantis is in this.
Also, is the person who goes is like, you win, that disembodied voice, is that actually a person that we should know about, or
That's
nothing?
Galacta.
That's Galacta?
Yeah, she's Galactus' daughter in the comics, except she's not from the main universe, she's from a different one.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So this indicates some kind of multiversal shenanigans, but it was really funny watching the internet going, why did they make Galactus sexy? It's like, they didn't. This is a different character. I'm just gonna cut this.
Okay, that's fair.
I don't know where I'm gonna cut it, but I'm gonna cut it. I think I know where.
Fair.
Anyways, I don't know, this could be interesting. This could be a train wreck. I guess we'll find out.
I guess we'll find out as well, if I'm honest. This is one of those games where I look at this and it's like, I'm pretty sure this is going to be a train wreck, or at least I feel like it's going to be a train wreck. But there is a certain part of me that looks from the sidelines to see how it goes.
Fair. You remember Freaky Friday?
Vaguely.
What if I told you we're getting another one?
Why?
I don't know, but we are.
Okay.
Also, Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis are both back for it.
Oh, okay, sure.
But instead of body swapping with each other, they're body swapping with two teenage girls.
I feel like that could potentially be very problematic.
I mean, that was the original. Lindsay Lohan was a teenager when the first one came out.
God,
that's right. That was 2003.
Oh god, I was in 3rd grade when that came out.
That's older than Mean Girls.
Oh, it is older than Mean Girls, isn't it?
Yeah.
Alright.
My gosh. No, apparently they're gonna be swapping with Lindsay Lohan's character's 14-year-old daughter.
Okay.
And some other girl. I'm trying to figure out the relation.
Okay.
I guess it's Lindsay Lohan's character's boyfriend's daughter as well.
Oh. Okay.
Not a step sibling yet, technically.
I don't like this.
I just why not just reboot it? No, I regret ever saying that. What am I thinking? Maybe just don't.
Yeah, as I say, what's next? A sequel to Sky High?
Don't give me hope.
No, I don't want a sequel to Sky High. I kind of want
What?
Sky High to say... No, because Sky High was... I remember liking Sky High, so I kind of wanted to stay in that bubble.
No, I guess that's fair. I think Can you believe Disney never did any kind of follow-up with that? None whatsoever!
You know what? Yeah, that is kind of surprising, isn't it?
When did this come out again? Sky High, 2005.
Oh, the year Need for Speed Most Wanted came out.
I guess theoretically speaking, it was kind of in the middle of that awkward superhero boom, like before things really took off, but...
Yeah. I don't know, just because this is how weird superhero boom makes me go, oh yeah, because in that aspect we had things like... When did the first Spider-Man movie come out?
First one was 2002.
Okay, so 2002.
This would have been when Spider-Man 2 came out, I think.
Yes, and also a year after, not that it's really in the same aspect to any degree, but also a year after The Punisher.
Right, and then Fantastic Four came out that same year, I think.
This is a weird timeline.
Fun reminder, Kurt Russell was in that, Mary Elizabeth Winstead was in that, Danielle Panabaker was in that. Crazy.
Very.
We had Ego, Huntress, and Killer Frost all in the same movie. Playing none of those characters, but still a superhero movie.
Right.
Oh, man. I feel old now. I watched that movie in theaters.
Oh, I remember watching it on Disney Channel.
No, I saw that in theaters. I saw it when I was a kid. I liked it. This is when I didn't go to the movies all the time, but I went decently enough sometimes.
Right.
So, yeah. I don't know where I was going with this.
Except to say that we're both old.
Yeah, that's the one.
Once again, there's 3 commonalities you can always get on this podcast. Someone makes a bad joke, sometimes we flub the intro, and we get regular reminders of how old we are.
Also, me getting irrationally angry about things.
That too.
Although, less so. Actually, you know what? Next bit of news.
Okay.
I was looking forward to The Wolfman. Now I gotta wait longer. And it was a Blumhouse movie, too, just like The Invisible Man. No, wait, that wasn't Blumhouse. Was it Blumhouse?
I think that was Blumhouse.
Yada yada yada, Leigh Whannell. Right, because it's directed by Leigh Whannell. It's the same director, too. Yada, yada, yada. Okay, it was Blumhouse. Yeah. Okay. So, like,
yeah.
another Universal monster movie, but from Blumhouse. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that was supposed to come out in October.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's been moved to January 2025, which...
Oof. We talked a tiny bit about it beforehand. On one hand, that seems kind of unfortunate because October is the perfect time for any horror movie at all.
And January is generally an indication that this is gonna suck.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, The Invisible Man came out in February 2020.
And it was amazing.
It was really good. And also, Megan came out January last year, so...
I mean, I am fond of... I assume we're talking about Mithrigan, right?
Yeah, no, I was talking about...
I just wanted to make sure there wasn't another, like, tiny-ass movie that I didn't know about.
Yeah, there was a completely unrelated horror movie called Megan that came out January last year. Actually, you know what? There's a better chance of that happening than not. I apologize.
Yeah, that's why I'm just like, I could see it.
You look at Imaginary and If and go, oh, wait, there's...
Yeah, there's... Oh, God, what's the term? Whatever. There is a history.
Yeah. So that's a little disappointing.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they're taking more time to work on it or something, I don't know. I'll admit, I'm not quite as interested as I was when Ryan Gosling was set to star in it, but...
Fair.
Christopher Abbott still got some chops, and also, it's still the same director as Invisible Man.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of all I need to hear at this point. Get me a trailer. I'm sad, but get me a trailer.
Yeah, indeed.
And now a little tiny baby bit of Marvel news that probably means nothing. Or maybe it's everything.
Alright.
Florence Pugh did a little Instagram thingamajig on the set of Thunderbolts. And it was shown on one of the set chairs, and then followed up by Marvel Studios tweeting about it, that the title of Thunderbolts has been updated. Now it's Thunderbolts with an asterisk.
That sounds concerning.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I think what's scary is that we don't know what that means, because that could mean a lot of things.
Maybe there's a subtitle that was too long to put on the chair.
Maybe. This whole thing was today, right?
No, that was this week.
Oh, okay.
It was March 27th.
Oh, okay, then never mind then. As I say, like, if it's today, I could see that being a different April Fool's kind of thing.
No, you think I would put any news from today on... No.
Fair, that's fair. I did underestimate you.
How stupid do you think I am? Greg, you won't believe this crazy thing that I found! They got Keanu Reeves voicing Shadow the Hedgehog! Oh. Anyways, this... Yeah, I don't know. It's a thing. I have to say something about it.
Yeah, I mean...
But I have nothing to say.
What's funny is that when you sent me the list of things you were talking about and you typed out Thunderbolts with an asterisk, I was like, oh wait, is this going to be a thing where it's like, there's a character that's part of the Thunderbolts that's not going to be there all the time or something ridiculous like that?
No, it's weirder than that.
Fair.
It's weirder than that. Let's go to trailer time.
Let's do trailer time.
It's trailer time again. We've got movie previews to watch. It's trailer time again. So there's only a few trailers that I felt like talking about this week.
Not including Unfrosted.
Not including Unfrosted. We're not going there. I got to the toaster launch countdown in the first 4 seconds and went, nope, that's...
Literally,
that wasn't an April Fool's.
That's part of the trailer, folks. Literally watching a breakfast pastry get sent off to the moon like a space shuttle.
Yeah, I wasn't kidding about that part. The Unfrosted trailer broke me. Well, okay, knowing that it was already a Melissa McCarthy, Adam Sandler... No, not Adam Sandler. Melissa McCarthy, Jerry Seinfeld movie about the creation of the Pop-Tart, and then seeing that broke me. But that's neither here nor there. We've got another non-theatrical movie here on Trailer Time this week, though, because Red vs. Blue Restoration now has a trailer.
Okay.
Because it turns out, rather than being a Season 19, the final installment of Red vs. Blue, and also the final production by Rooster Teeth as a company, is actually going to be an 87-minute feature film.
You know what? I was wondering about that when I saw that the trailer was uploaded on Rooster Teeth's channel. As far as, like, how all that worked out. So it's like, oh, okay, that makes sense if it's their absolute final production as a company.
Yeah, because they're done. They're gone.
Yeah.
They don't exist anymore.
Yeah, that's why I was surprised. It's like, wait, they're still uploading shit here? Okay.
There's a certain really sad poetry about it, too.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, Red vs. Blue was basically the thing they started with.
Yeah. That is what kind of catapulted them.
And it might have actually been their first thing, period.
I want to say you're correct.
I feel like that was literally the first thing that they did as Rooster Teeth.
Yeah. No, it got me a little bit when they're like, the 21 years saga is just like, oh, good Lord Christ.
Goodness.
Yeah. No, yeah, it was actually Rooster Teeth's first thing, because the release of Red vs. Blue was also on the same day that Rooster Teeth was founded.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that was their original thing.
So yeah, Bernie Burns is back as Church, or at Epsilon at least.
Mm-hmm.
We know Matt Hullum is back as Sarge, Jeff Ramsey's back as Griff, and it sounds like even Joel Heyman is back as Caboose.
Okay.
Which is interesting, because, well, I mean, a lot of them weren't with Rooster Teeth anymore, so...
Well, I feel like we talked about it at one point before, where I think I remember you saying something along the lines of, it's believed that this production is more so in the hands of the people who actually do Red vs. Blue than it is, like, in the hands of Rooster Teeth?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Okay, then I am mistaken there.
Yeah, I heard something from somebody about potential buyers for Ruby, specifically.
Okay, yeah, that's
I never
what that
substantiated it, which is why it never popped up here.
Fair.
But this is sad. And by which I mean I'm excited for this.
Yeah.
But I'm really sad.
This show as a whole, even though I don't know a lot about it because I have only really seen bits and pieces of Red vs. Blue over the years, I am very aware that this show is very much a major cornerstone of internet gaming culture.
Yeah.
To, like, give it the absolute least. I don't know. In the realm of movies are considered extremely important to movies as we know them and cultural impact and stuff like that, I would say if you're focusing it down to the world of internet culture and the Venn diagram of internet culture and gaming culture, Red vs. Blue is definitely one of the big pillars in it.
I feel like Red vs. Blue was one of the first times where I realized that, and I wasn't aware of it, but I think this is one of the first things that clued me into parodies can actually be really good on their own.
I mean, for me, it was the realization of video games having the potential to be more than just video games, like people using video games to create cinema. I remember... Yes.
I hate to jump on that bandwagon.
I use cinema in the loosest term possible in the subject of, like, making content, if that makes sense.
You're correct, but I don't... And I really hate to be that guy after... Because, I'm vehemently against the Martin Scorsese, superhero movies aren't cinema, whatever. I just... Red vs. Blue specifically, I don't know if machinima qualifies.
Fair.
And I guess I should say, I don't know, has this been in movie theaters at all?
No, I don't think it has, but I meant what I meant it as is more in strictly in the creative sense.
Yeah, you know what, that's fair, because...
Yeah, like, not in the actual, like, movie sense, but, like, how, well, amongst other things, this kind of jump-started the thing of people using video games to make shorts and, like, little movies and stuff like that.
Right.
This is the first major application I remember seeing of it. So that was the thing that I remember being, like, a teenager kind of coming across it. Again, I didn't spend much time around it because I wasn't very much into Halo.
Same.
Kind of not into Halo. But
also
it did...
same.
Well, yeah. I mean, I was still very deep in the racing game as best time of my youth. But it was a thing of, like, wow, I didn't know people could use video games to do that kind of thing. Like, that's kind of what I was going for.
I could tell you more about Red vs. Blue lore than I can Halo lore, by a wide margin.
I mean, I feel like that's kind of expected. Because I have a feeling that Red vs. Blue on the whole appeals to a lot more people who aren't even necessarily into Halo, just because of how wacky and funny Red vs. Blue as a thing is. You're
probably right, but also you gotta remember Red vs. Blue is a much smaller audience, I'd assume, because, well, I mean, look at Xbox's install base.
That's fair.
Yeah. No, God, wow. I jumped in super late because I'd seen bits and pieces, but the thing that really got me was this one part in, I want to say it was in the Freelancer Saga, where Tex is just beating the shit out of everybody. It was great.
Right.
Protect me, Cone! I like how we put this in trailer time and we haven't said anything about the actual thing.
Oh yeah, no, it's, I don't know what to say about it in all honesty, because I barely know anything about Red versus Blue. Cha-cha-cha.
Fair. It's interesting to me because I'm behind on Red versus Blue, I'll admit. I stopped somewhere around the, what was it called? Yes, the Shizno trilogy.
It's the Shizno trilogy?
I will not elaborate. But,
okay.
to my understanding, the church AI has been long gone. So the fact that he's apparently back for this is, along with some of the other... Okay, I guess I gotta get a little bit into Red versus Blue lore and elaborate a little bit to make sense of this. So, Church, the main guy, Bernie Burns.
Bernie Burns.
We find out that he is actually an AI, and not even a full AI. The director of Project Freelancer created a AI construct of his mind and split it off into fragments.
Okay.
Church was originally the alpha fragment, the main personality.
Mm-hmm.
And then he ended up being deleted or erased or something, but he lived on in the Epsilon AI, which was the memory, and then the Epsilon AI fell apart.
Okay.
And the whole AI is supposed to be gone as far as I know, but some other aspects, like, when Griff's screaming meta, that's because Agent Main was taken over by one of the... I want to say meta was the name of one of the fragments?
Okay.
I think. It's been a while. The fiery figure who said it would be sad if it wasn't so annoying is the Gamma fragment, I want to say, who's the Deceit.
Okay.
Because each of them represents a different aspect of the director, functionally. But them being back makes me wonder what's going on here. Especially, Sarge says, does anyone else hate the future? Which... maybe he pulled them from a different point in time, or maybe this is set in the past?
Right.
I guess we'll have to see. I don't think this is releasing theatrically, but I'm almost definitely renting it when it comes out, just because sadness and respect.
No, which is fair.
At least this means that the last movie Rooster Teeth did wasn't Ruby X Justice League.
Yeah, that's I would say that's a good thing overall.
Can you even imagine?
That would be very sad indeed.
That still might be the last piece of official Ruby animation from Rooster. Now, okay, that's definitely the last piece of Ruby animation we get from Rooster Teeth. That might be the last piece of official Ruby animation, period. No.
Yeah.
We also got a trailer for Kinds of Kindness.
I mean, it's a teaser more so.
Yeah, it's a little baby teaser, but the music is good. It's Yorgos Lanthimos, the creator of Poor Things and The Favorite and The Lobster. I've seen 2 out of 3 of those.
Have you seen The Lobster?
No.
Wow, I'm genuinely surprised. I'm genuinely amazed that I've seen The Lobster and you haven't.
I never got a chance to see it when it was in theaters, and since then it's just been I know I need to sit down and watch it, but I've got a whole list of shit like that.
Fair.
Case in point, Fury Road. I've never seen a Terminator all the way through.
I mean, I am in the same boat there.
I've never seen The Matrix. Enough flabbergasted things I haven't seen.
Yeah.
That dog was drinking out of a cup with a straw in it.
Yes, he was.
I want to know what his deal is, or her deal. I can't tell if that's a good boy or a good girl. Either way. I want to know what the deal is there. This is a really tiny thing, but I love how the slap is synced up to part of the music.
Yeah.
That was just, I like that. I know it's cheap and easy to do in marketing in a trailer, but yeah, yes.
I am somewhat interested and curious. The thing that definitely made me the most curious is who I'm assuming to be our female lead, just being the most absolute horrific driver in this Dodge Challenger, just doing like drifts and donuts with this giant smile on her face. I'm like, ooh, there is clearly something not right about you.
Can she be the worst driver if she doesn't crash?
I mean, the worst driver, no. An asshole, yes.
Yeah, that's fair. Plus, I mean, Emma Stone, Willem Dafoe, again, both of which were in Poor Things.
Yeah.
Jesse Plemons, Hong Chau's in this. This is a good cast.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't get an awful lot. And also, I am a sucker for Sweet Dreams.
Fair. It is a good song.
This wildly appeals to me. Cannot wait. When does this come out? June 21st, limited release. Better be over here. Better be near us.
I hope so.
Better not have to wait a month like I did with Poor Things. Was that only a month? That was only like a month. Wow. Huh. And then, because that teaser was really short, we also got the trailer for Bad Boys Ride or Die.
I don't care about this as much as I thought I was going to. Because I think what it is for me personally is that when Bad Boys for Life came out, it felt a lot more novel, since it was so long since the last Bad Boys movie.
Right.
And it's like, I want to say the movie did acceptably, like, very well. Obviously well enough to warrant a sequel, but it is a thing of like, no, Bad Boys for Life could have been fine, the last movie. And it's like, oh, we're doing another one? Okay, fine.
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised by how much I didn't hate Bad Boys for Life after not being able to get through the first one.
Yeah, same. I mean, I am more open to the Bad Boys movies, but it was a thing of like, all right, let's get this over with. At the end, I'm like, I actually had a really good time with this.
And I didn't hate it. I think I had a pretty decent time.
Yeah, I was like genuinely amazed by that.
And then this happened.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, come on, y'all.
This is like, I imagine at least, the point where Fast and Furious kind of jumped the shark, turning into and now we deal with super spy stuff.
Yeah.
Once that plane fight happens, I was just waiting for Dominic Toretto to show up.
I mean, this is a Universal movie, right?
No, Sony.
Okay, thank Christ.
Can't happen.
Alright, never mind then. That would be amazing.
You say that, but they could still cross over with Jurassic Park.
I think, if anything, that would justify my current apathy towards the movie.
You're right. Well, I mean, Fast and Furious could cross over with... Oh god, they could cross this over with Ghostbusters!
Don't you dare put that evil on me.
Bad Busters for life.
Although, there is a very unfortunate part of my brain that would kind of like to see the Fast and Furious, or at least the people who handle the cars in Fast and Furious, go to town on the Ecto one. Or, okay, maybe not directly the Ecto one, maybe make their own, like, Fast and Furious edition of the Ecto one. Leave the actual Ecto one alone.
I mean Ghostbusters and Bad Boys.
Oh, okay. That would be amazing. I think I would live for that, just to see Phoebe just crap all over Will Smith and Martin Lawrence, in all honesty.
Bad Bustin' makes me feel good.
No,
I don't like that. What have I done?
No, we already did this last week.
Yeah, we did. They could also cross over with the Men in Black.
Okay, that I could see.
I could see it, but I don't want it!
Yeah, no, I don't want it either, but I could see that happening.
Oh, I don't want to think about this anymore.
Hmm.
Let's go to box office.
Alright.
We saw the highest grossing movie this weekend. It was Blood and Honey 2.
You're kidding!
I am, April Fools.
Okay, I was gonna say, like, get the fuck out of here. That would be the thing that made me go, I was like, alright, I quit movies.
I did.
Yeah, it's like, I quit movies, and I actually liked Blood and Honey, too.
I got them, and I got you. 2 days after April Fool's, even.
Good lord.
But I got you on the day, though. That's the important part.
Yeah, so that counts more, I guess.
Oh, I'm so happy with that.
Who was the other person you got?
The audience.
Oh, okay.
I got them with the I'm quitting the podcast because Pop-Tarts.
That is one of the... God, that is one of the... I have to say, like, you know those, like, whole internet, like, out-of-context quotes? That would
one
be
of the sentences of all time.
Yeah, it's like, I quit the podcast because of Pop-Tarts, Cody.
No, the actual highest grossing movie, we did see it, too. It was Godzilla X Kong.
Okay. I was gonna say, like, fuck out of here with that bullshit.
It's being reported that it took in $80 million domestically this weekend and in total for a $194 million worldwide total.
Oh, wow.
Budget of roughly $135 million.
Okay. I think its chances are good overall to make a profit then.
Yeah, even with a pretty steep second weekend drop, and I don't know how steep that's gonna be, because I think its real competition next week is Monkey Man and The First Omen. And I'm excited for Monkey Man. I don't know that it's a threat.
Yeah, I don't think so.
In the sense of, I'm sure it will be... That seems like more the movie that has a modest opening weekend and then pretty decent legs once word of mouth picks up.
Yeah.
But what do I know? I don't take bets on this stuff. However, also I do have some information for Blood and Honey 2, which is that it has made roughly $533,000.
What was its budget this time around?
Well, okay, there's a couple of differing sources there.
Okay.
The director, Rhys Frake Waterfield, said... Rhys Water Frakefield? You'd think I know the man's name.
Rise River Frickfield.
Rhys Frake Waterfield.
If he listens to this podcast, I do apologize.
He did say that it had 10 times the budget of the first one, and the first one had a $100,000 budget, which would imply $1 million.
Oh, okay.
But Variety's reporting a $500,000 budget, and I'd assume the director would have a better idea, but also he was potentially being hyperbolic.
And there was also zero marketing for this movie, too, so I feel like there's also not as big... The normal expected takeaway for a movie to make a profit probably doesn't apply to Blood and Honey 2 in this aspect.
You're right. So it might already be turning a little bit of a profit in that regard.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, it was only in theaters for that limited span of time, so that's probably all the money it's making.
True.
So, I don't know how well this worked.
I
don't know how well the movie worked. It didn't. It was a train wreck, and I loved it.
Yeah, it was an absolute train wreck, like the first movie.
I mean, it's slightly better production values than the original.
Fair.
In that there's some actual blood, some actual gore.
Some actual honey.
I mean, there was honey in the first one. But, also a third one's apparently already been confirmed.
Oh, well, we talked about there being, like, a whole, like, poop...
No, but an actual third one.
I can't even say it because it's just a stupid-ass name.
Yeah, Pooniverse Monsters Assemble. I feel dirty every time I say it.
It's just a dumbass name.
You know what it is? I'm pronouncing it wrong. It's Pooniverse.
I feel like that doesn't make it better.
A little bit.
Hmm.
It makes it sound less explicitly like a porno spin-off franchise.
Oh, dude. Oh, that's
Enunciation
funny.
is important, kids.
That's funny. That I don't like that kind of idea is currently swimming around rent-free in my head.
Like, comment, subscribe. I should have done that at the start of the video. Why am I so bad at this?
Especially after me just letting my depraved brain leak out once again.
Anyways, Blood and Honey 2.
Blood and Honey 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Completely different cast, because the events of the first movie have been turned into a movie within a movie.
Yeah, which I feel like that's not really a thing that movies do for a reason.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, like, I feel like it's a thing. Not to say that Blood and Honey 1 is a better movie, because it's absolutely not. It seems like kind of not too far away removed from the whole thing of referencing a, not so much better, but in this case, different product in your product to make people go, I'm going to check out the different product instead.
Well, I don't understand to what end is the main thing, because I don't know if it was to... I assume it would have to be to excuse the cheaper production values by saying, yeah, this was a... How ironic to say that the in your sequel of this Winnie the Pooh slasher movie, that the first Winnie the Pooh slasher movie was a knockoff made by some horror Wow. Huh.
We're going meta! We're going meta in the freaking Winnie the Pooh horror flick.
I don't think I like that.
No, I don't like it either.
So Christopher Robin's a town pariah because nobody believes him. His story gets picked up and turned into a cheap horror movie, which is the original Blood and Honey, but with some extra additions. I guess maybe I'll put a spoiler warning earlier in, because the ultimate thing is that it's not a good movie. It's an entertaining as hell movie.
But it is a god. Objectively, this movie is shit.
Look, I'll boil it down to this. Did you watch the first Blood and Honey? Yes, no? If no, don't watch this one. If yes, did you like it? Yes, no. If yes, watch this one. If no, you're not gonna like it any better.
Yeah, it's just as bad.
If you're not on board at this point with Winnie the Pooh slasher movie, this isn't gonna change your mind, alright?
No.
There we go. So if you don't want to get spoiled on Blood and Honey 2, for whatever reason...
For whatever godforsaken reason.
Click away in 3, 2, 1, because I'm not holding back. I didn't hear what Pooh said in that one scene that they added in when he, like, suddenly has electric powers or whatever. Did he say it's Morbin time?
God, I couldn't catch exactly what was said because I think we were laughing too much.
Because it was a Morbin time reference, I know that.
It was absolutely a Morbin time reference. As much as I hate to say it, it's like one of those things where you have to see the movie a second time to pick up on it. So,
the part of the reason why I assumed they made it a movie within a movie was for the effects and not for the plot is because Eeyore's still dead, I think.
Right. Yeah, I think so.
Or at least they never bring him up, but that would have been an easy way to also write him back in. So, Christopher Robin is struggling, lost his job, nobody likes him. I mean, some people still like him, but most people are like, nah, you're a murderer, bruh.
Yeah, or just, you're sick in the head or something along those lines.
Yeah, something like that. Although there are some people who believe him and are going around storming through the 100-acre wood, trying to find the monsters and kill them.
Mm-hmm.
And his situation has gotten so dire that Pooh and Piglet end up going to Owl and Tigger, who they haven't spoken to in ages apparently, for help. And they all start to go on a rampage because Owl convinces them that this is how they survive.
Right.
And all the while, Christopher Robin starts confronting some more demons from his past, coming to the terrible conclusion of the origins of Pooh, Piglet, and all the rest of the 100-acre wood gang.
Oh, and boy, what a conclusion it is.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
There's one point... Also, it's really funny to me how, because this was an event screening, they didn't do fucking 20 minutes of previews.
Yeah, which caught me off guard, because I was running behind getting there, and it's like, I get in, it's like, oh crap, the movie already started. It's like...
Yeah, by the time you got in, the first killing spree already started.
Yeah, I was just like, oh shit, that's right, this is an event thing. Oh, they're not gonna have the same trailers. Because, unfortunately, I personally have been conditioned to be like, okay, obviously I want to get to the movie theater in time, but if I'm a few minutes late, it doesn't matter, because there's gonna be commercials anyway.
That's why I don't do that.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
There's gonna be that one time that I don't do it. And not just for an event movie, I mean for a regular movie. There's gonna be that one time.
I mean, I forget which one, but there was a regular movie we saw, like, within the last month that only had, like, I think, like, 10 minutes or something like that.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, I could get used to this. It's like, and we're not doing this anymore.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's bad. It's just as hilariously bad as the first one.
It's hilariously bad. It's one of those weird ones where it's like, if you're squeamish, don't see it. But at the same time, the gore and all that in this movie... A friend of ours described Hellsing Ultimate in the same way, because Hellsing Ultimate is a horrifically gory anime, but at the same time, it is so horrifically over the top that it's just like, oh, this is fine. Because this is not how the human body actually works in any aspect.
No, but I'd also say that the gore is a little bit better than the first one, and there are a couple points where it gets a little uncomfortable, but...
Fair.
That just means they're doing their job right, ultimately.
Yeah, or at least that means they're getting better at it. Which
yeah.
is a terrifying thought.
The Pooh and Piglet designs are improved.
Mm-hmm.
Owl's pretty good.
I thought Owl looked stupid as fuck.
I mean, it looks stupid, but it's also, I think, slightly more menacing. At least, okay, I can't tell Tigger apart from Pooh half the time.
Yeah, no, I will agree with that completely.
The only way I can tell a difference is that Tigger's a little more mobile, but when they're standing still in poor lighting, it's very difficult to tell who's who.
Right.
And also, Tigger talks more.
Yeah, Tigger talks more and is he talks like some kind of like wannabe Crip, and it's...
Really doesn't like women either. Calls a lot of them bitch.
Yeah, Tigger's a little misogynist. The ridiculousness of that sentence that just came out of my mouth. I was like, yeah, Tigger's a little misogynistic. It's like, oh god, what has happened? What is going on?
I like how I said spoilers at this point, and I'm still dancing around the big thing, which is that it turns out, because the first movie only said that Pooh and friends were, weird half-breed abominations or something of the such, and didn't really delve into it any further. Turns out now... They're the result of genetic experiments made by some mad doctor experimenting on kidnapped children, including Christopher's twin brother.
AKA, they ripped off, like, Five Nights at Freddy's hardcore.
To an extent, yeah!
Yeah, it's kind of the same underlying premise, in all honesty.
And I should be disappointed by that. But I'm too busy marveling at the fact that they did it.
Yeah, it's like, wow, that's the balls of these people.
Really was something. I didn't take a lot of notes for this one. There was a one that I was kind of proud of at the start, because the narrator's recapping how Pooh and Christopher Robin used to have adventures together and how it used to feel like a really innocent time. And then he goes, but as Ernest Hemingway said, and I just wrote down, what's a Hemingway? Which is in itself not a good joke, because it's just a corruption of a better joke.
Right.
That, of course, being what's a Henway. But, wrong Disney movie, that's what friends are for, is Jungle Book. Because Christopher Robin has this one friend who believes him, and I forget her name. Would you call her the replacement love interest? Because they don't really ever...
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, there's a weird romantic tension, it feels like, that's never explored. I was just like, this is right on the cusp, guys.
But is it really, or is it just because we're conditioned to assume that because this is a horror movie, that's how it's going to play out?
Do you know what? I could see that too.
I'd have to rewatch to assess. Wow. I'm not opposed.
Samantha, I think is her name.
I thought it was... Oh, was it?
The character's name? Like, specifically the character.
Maybe?
Hold on. Oh, wait, no, that's the mom.
I think you're thinking of Lexi.
Yeah, no, that's it.
Also, he's got a little sister, which... How old is he?
Yeah, I feel like it's a fair thing to wonder.
There's a pretty big gap there, because his parents are old.
Yeah, his parents are quite old. And this little girl is probably, like, no more than, like, 10 years old.
Right. She's definitely young.
Yeah, quite.
Also, I don't know who played the janitor who helped kidnap those kids way back when, but he's fucking great.
He is pretty great.
I'll burn the whole fucking house down.
I feel like with his bit, it's the whole thing of he is going way too hard in the paint for his bit, but I feel like him going way too hard is also a product of him just not giving a shit.
It's Dakota Johnson and Madam Web.
Yeah. When he starts explaining the whole thing to Christopher Robin, it's just like, alright, here it is. It's just like no wind up or anything like that. Just like starts explaining how he helped a dude kidnap children in a very deep Scottish accent.
And then shoots himself in the face.
Which you called.
It wasn't that hard.
I know, but it's like, I don't remember him having a gun.
He's tossing all these papers into the fire while confessing it all to Christopher Robin. The only way that this drama continues is if he's not able to give testimony about it, and obviously he's gonna pull a gun out of the case and shoot himself, because Christopher let him grab the fucking case. There's some real stupidity going on in this movie. Yeah, in this Winnie the Pooh slasher sequel. I had a discussion with my roommate when I was going to go see it, where I went, it occurs to me that the only thing dumber than saying I have to go see this Winnie the Pooh slasher movie is I have to go see this Winnie the Pooh slasher sequel. Which I stand by.
Yeah, 100%.
But, so it's established that Pooh and friends have a healing factor of some sort as a result of the freakish abilities they were given by these mutations.
Yeah.
But nobody ever really seems to dwindle on that.
Yeah.
Not to jump way ahead, but Pooh gets taken out with an axe to the head.
Oh, bother.
Oh, bother, he says. Oh, bother, he says. And that's why I can't hate this movie.
Yeah, as the axe is like just fleeing towards him, he just goes, oh, bother. In
fact, I'd argue in some ways this is actually a little bit better than the first, if only because this feels more like a Winnie the Pooh parody. You know? This feels more like it's a send-up of the original material than the first one. Fair. For little things like that. We never did get Tigger doing his laugh, did we?
I don't think so.
Or at least it was so distorted it was hard to tell. But, no, so the Pooh gets an axe to the head, and then they just leave him in a pit. Like, that's the end of it.
Yeah, and then the movie just, like, really quickly cuts to its ending, with zero pacing. Just immediately, like, he's in the ground! Movie's over! Christopher Robin's, like, rescuing his sister or stepsister or whatever. Running
his friend / love interest is okay.
Yeah, he's, like, running to embrace his not girlfriend. It's just like, we have happy music, credits start to roll. I was like, wait, what the fuck?
And then we get the post-credit scene where it turns out, yes, Owl is working on reviving Pooh and Piglet, and then we get another thing of, oh, Pooh, you are a bear of very little brain, as his head's caved in. That was a good one.
That was pretty good. That was very solid.
And then we get a bunch of concept art over the credits of the rest of the planned Twisted Childhood universe, which, yeah, okay.
Yeah, well, first off, that's a better name.
That's what it's called.
Oh, is it really?
It's called the Twisted Childhood universe.
Why did you just lead with that instead of the Poohniverse?
Well, because that's not gonna... If you put Twisted Childhood universe Monsters Assemble on a poster, who's gonna recognize that?
Oh, I hate how right you are.
Don't get me wrong, I hate that, but Twisted Childhood universe doesn't put butts in seats. Poohniverse puts butts in seats. No, I like this a lot.
I enjoyed this movie. I will collect it by proxy whenever you get the physical release of it, because it's one of those things where it's like, I like this movie. There's no way in hell I'm putting it on my shelf.
Yeah, I need to get the original still. I missed out on getting the collector's edition, but... In any case, I like how my attitude when they announced all these movies coming out in the next 2 years was, oh, this is so over, and now it's just, we are so fucking back! I have turned into that meme. Let's go to Godzilla X Kong.
Well, let's talk about Godzilla X Kong.
I like this one a lot, too!
Yeah, same. I had a good time with this. Although it made me realize how much context and how upset I am by missing the previous 2 Monsterverse movies.
Yeah, we really have to fix that, because you're missing a lot for having not seen Godzilla vs. Kong or King of the Monsters.
Yeah.
But maybe not as much as I was hoping.
Oh, well, that's a good thing,
I'm not going to spoil it, but there's one monster that I was really hoping would come back who didn't.
Ah, fair.
Anyways, the premise of this is an 80% Kong, 20% Godzilla movie.
Yeah, a lot of this movie is focused on Kong, who may or may not be having some form of existential crisis.
Yeah, because he misses the rest of his kind. He's just hanging around Hollow Earth because it's too dangerous for him on the surface, because now that he's left Skull Island, Godzilla's letting his real anti-Kong racism shine through. Look, he's from a different era, okay? The Permian era.
Don't you dare say such a thing ever again.
He's literally from a different era.
I know, but it's the thing of, oh, fuck. It's like, he's from a different time. Things were different back then. Shut the fuck up. It's a giant
Things were literally different.
I know, but it's like, my brain partially goes, shut the hell up. He's a giant atomic lizard. He doesn't understand the concept of eras.
Of course he does. You think he doesn't realize? Man, I've had a lot of sleeps. He's a smart guy. He's a smart lad.
Ugh.
So, yeah, there's some big threat coming. Godzilla knows about it. Kong finds out about it. Then they fight.
Then they fight.
Each other and together. In the meantime, there's also some human stuff going around.
Yeah, and the human stuff is actually kind of interesting.
I think, okay, it's definitely a truism that the human parts of these Monsterverse movies are always the worst part.
Yeah, because you're there for the monsters.
Yeah, but I feel like that's been taken to be the human part is automatically bad and uninteresting because it's not the monsters, and I feel like that's not true. I found this to actually be decently engaging. Silly! Don't get me wrong.
Oh,
but
very
decently
silly.
engaging.
Yeah.
I think the real problem that the Monsterverse has with its human characters is there are some characters who come back, but on the whole, the cast rotates enough that you don't really have time to get attached to them.
Yeah,
so,
that's true.
Like, for example, and I know Kong Skull Island was a special case because that was set in Vietnam, so obviously there's a reason why Tom Hiddleston and Brie Larson haven't come back, but you also feel it in the back of your skull that they're not back because they're busy doing other stuff.
Other Marvel stuff, specifically.
Yeah. So, because of that, you don't really have as much time to form connections with them, because case in point, Millie Bobby Brown in Godzilla King of the Monsters and Godzilla vs. Kong, not here now.
Mm-hmm.
Brian Tyree Henry's back, Rebecca Hall is back, and also Kaylee Hoddle is back as Gia, who's having a really hard time adjusting to the rest of the world.
Right.
And then you also got Dan Stevens as Trapper. He's a good new addition. I like him.
Oh yeah, he's great in this.
He knows exactly what he's here for.
Yeah.
Because he just does not give a fuck.
Oh, of course not.
But no, I think the human element in this is actually probably one of the better ones it's ever been. It's just overshadowed by A, the fact that that's not what you came for, and B, the best actors in this are the Kongs.
Yeah, they are. Which is, I feel like should not be a good thing, but it is.
No, that's actually really good, because there are so many scenes here where the kaiju aren't just fighting, but they're communicating. And the fact that you can kind of follow what's going on and get the gist of where each of them are at based on their expressions is really good. That means it's effective. That means it's serving its purpose.
Right.
So, that's good. It just also further contributes to the human element's always bad. But I'll tell you what, this is probably the first time during at least one of these American Godzilla movies that I've ever teared up at anything relating to the human element. I didn't cry, but my eyes got a little damp.
That's fair.
And plus, the kaiju fights, I've been selling the non-fighting parts, but the fights themselves, mwah, really good.
Oh yeah, the fights are solid.
I love them. There's some interesting new monsters. I like that the Scar King's whole thing is he isn't necessarily stronger than Godzilla and Kong, but he's not, and I won't call him smarter than them, but he is smart.
He is smart, and he is powerful, but not in the same way. Physical strength is not the thing that makes him strong.
No, it's agility, skill, and honestly, resources.
Yes, which we'll get it more into in the spoiler section.
Yeah, we will. I think this is 100% worth a watch. I mean, the mic drops in it are good.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, there's no, like, real hidden gems in here, but also, not as many things... There's no Mr. Blue Sky. That's kind of the key thing for me at this point. There is no Mr. Blue Sky. Because if there was, I'd be really upset. But there isn't, so we're all good.
Yes, indeed.
It really feels like the Monsterverse has gotten much sillier. Much more super sci-fi comic booky, you know? Because when you look back at Godzilla 2014, which, God, that was 10 years ago.
I remember that movie taking itself way more seriously than it needed to.
Yeah, it was way more serious. Kaijus were a new rediscovery functionally. But now with the revelation of Monarch and that they've been operating on stuff like this since Vietnam era, it's the case of, oh, okay, yeah, this is... Now we've just got all kinds of wacky stuff, like we could do a Kong tooth extraction. That might be a spoiler. It's a minor spoiler.
It is a minor spoiler.
So no, I thought all in all... Honestly, you know what? I will say, as much as I like Brian Tyree Henry, Bernie didn't really need to be in this.
No, he did not. He was a little insufferable.
A teeny bit. And I get it, based on the circumstances he's at, but you also could have not included him in the movie, and we would have been left to draw some of our own conclusions, and we could have assumed that he maybe got some extra fame from what went down.
Fair.
Or he could have had him working for Monarch.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's just he's not well utilized here, because he's just here to be the guy who's out of his depth.
Horrifically out of his depth, which, again, kind of want to talk about a little bit, but kind of spoils decent bits of the movie too, I guess.
Fair.
Although, granted, some of it is also out of context for me personally, since I haven't seen the last two movies.
Also fair. You got anything else that's not a spoiler?
The soundtrack slaps.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, the licensed soundtrack is actually pretty good in this.
Yeah, I'm always here for Twilight Zone. Spoilers?
Yeah, spoilers.
Alright, so if you don't want to get spoiled on Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire, make sure to click away in 3, 2, 1. If I had a nickel for every March 2024 blockbuster that involves some frozen ancient force being used for evil starting its rampage on a beach, I have 2 nickels.
It's not a lot, but it's weird that it's happened twice.
It's very weird that it's happened twice. What is that?
Yeah, that's a little freaky.
So one of the reasons Scar King is so dangerous is that he's managed to tame this other kaiju in Hollow Earth known as Shimo, who has the power over ice. Which, I'll admit, I'm a little disappointed. I thought that was Anguirus. Anguirus is functionally the antagonist of the first Showa-era Godzilla sequel, Godzilla Raids Again, who fought Godzilla, then they became rival friends, and because Anguirus is an ankylosaur, and I think I remember reading that in development for one of the movies, it was contemplated to make Anguirus partially a being of ice. So when this 4-legged, club-tailed, ice-wielding creature showed up, I was like, yo, what the fuck? Not actually, because that'd be rude, but...
Yeah, but it's still a thing of like, oh, that's a hell of a callback.
But as I understand it, they might not actually have the rights to Anguirus, so that might explain why Shimo is different, but it's also weird to me that I haven't seen anywhere go, yeah, this is a lawyer-friendly version of Anguirus, because it feels... I can't be the only one making this connection, right? I'm not crazy here. Let me know in the comments!
Yeah, I don't think so.
I hope not. Kong gets a power glove.
He does get a power glove.
We saw that.
Now he just needs to go up and only use it by being able to connect it directly to his CRT.
There's something really weird about the fact that Monarch was working on a battle suit for Kong, and then the government shut it down, but they didn't demand that they relinquish the hand they already built?
Which, obviously this movie's already silly. Really, really silly. That was the only thing that kind of took me out of it, because it's like, well, that is horrifically convenient.
Yeah, a little bit. Especially, because the whole reason Kong needs the power glove is he gets injured trying to fight the Star King and Shimo, and his hand gets horrifically frostbitten. And so they call in because they also conveniently have it stored at the Hollow Earth outpost. So... Yeah.
Which, that's the thing that makes me go, it's like, why? Why did you bring that here? Why
do you still have it? Why didn't the government take it if they were so against this project?
Yeah, because the government's whole thing is, they said, it's like, yeah, the government didn't like the idea of making the world's most powerful Titan even stronger. It's like, that is completely reasonable.
I don't know if I'd call it completely reasonable, but it's an understandable concern. So why did they not seize the arm?
Yeah.
So... They bring that in, and it was really funny, because at first, when it's latching onto his arm, I went, okay, but his arm is still frostbitten and probably decaying. And then they're like, yeah, okay, we'll inject this medicine that should heal the frostbite. Oh!
Another convenience!
Okay, now it's getting a little much.
It's like, what is this medicine? Who knows? What is it made of? Who cares? It doesn't matter. It's taking away the frostbite.
Does it only work on Titans? Because I feel like you could be making some really big medical breakthroughs with that.
Yeah, for real.
Is it because it's horribly radioactive? It is glowing green.
I was say it probably is actually horribly radioactive.
Speaking of glowing, Godzilla's barely in this.
Oh yeah, no, he doesn't get major time in it until like the second half of the movie.
I shouldn't say barely, I feel like he's in it enough-ish. Enough where it doesn't necessarily feel like complete false advertising to call it Godzilla X Kong, but you maybe should have changed top billing.
We see Godzilla claim the Roman Colosseum as his bed.
I love it! He's just curled up in there like a cat!
Yeah, it's a thing where when they show that there's like, I should hate... Every fiber of my being is saying, you should hate this. But it's amazing.
Yeah, no, he's just... He gets done kicking the ass of some kaiju rampaging around in Rome, and then he just plops down in the Colosseum like, I sleep.
Yeah.
And there's a whole bit with Rebecca Hall's character being on the phone going, yeah, I get it, the Italian government's not happy, but how are they gonna move him?
Yeah, like, what are they gonna do about it? What, like, you think we can just tell him to fuck off?
I love that. So Godzilla, having already sensed the Star King's... well, it's not even the Star King's menace, it's that Shimo sending out some kind of... No, it's the Iwi people who are sending out a distress signal, using some kind of weird gravitational crystals.
By the way, the Iwi people are here.
Yeah, they're Jia's people who were thought lost, and it was believed she was the last of her kind because the Skull Island tribe got wiped out. Turns out there's a whole culture of them living in the Hollow Earth. In a Hollow Earth beneath the Hollow Earth. It's just the world turtle thing, but it's Hollow Earths all the way down.
Isn't there someone who's known for coming up with like a crackpot theory of there being an Earth was inside the Earth or something ridiculous like that?
Yeah, that's Hollow Earth. That's... Yeah.
Okay, yeah. It's like, God, I don't know how I feel about potentially giving that person new fuel.
I'm pretty sure they're dead by now.
Oh, fair.
Anyways. So Godzilla senses that this bad thing is coming, and it's really funny because at first, when he starts swimming around the world, Kong just happens to have come up from the Hollow Earth because he needs a tooth replaced because it's infected. And so Monarch is initially panicking, like, oh god, does he know Kong's back? What are we gonna do if he gets here?
Yeah, it's like, what are we supposed to do here, guys?
So, no, Godzilla's actually... he goes and wrecks some French radiation plant or something and absorbs it all, and then goes to the Arctic Circle where a bunch of solar winds are gathering, and this other beast called Tiamat's holed up. Godzilla kicks her ass, takes his shit, turns Super Godzilla rosé.
Yeah. The finest rosé for all your radioactive needs.
Jumps off Gibraltar.
Jumps off Gibraltar. Like, Olympic swan dives off of Gibraltar.
He does a fucking swan dive.
It's like, I feel like there would be judges on the other side of the beach, just be like, 10, 10, 8, and then the last one's just like 4.
Meanwhile, Kong knows he needs help, so he goes up to the surface to get Godzilla, because Godzilla can sense there's a thing, but he doesn't know where it is, I guess?
Mm-hmm.
So then, Kong goes to Egypt, summons Godzilla, tries to get Godzilla to listen. Godzilla's like, oh no, you came to the wrong neighborhood.
Which is made even funnier, because you see Godzilla, like, talking about the whole thing of the kaiju acting and all that. You see Kong, like, going up to Godzilla, trying to motion, like, no, wait, and Godzilla isn't having any of it, starts kicking Kong's ass.
How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
Yeah, and then Kong is just like, alright, we're going down like this? Alright, then let's go.
I ain't going out like that.
I would pay good money if that song started playing over that scene.
No, so... Oh, and Mothra's back.
Oh, yeah.
Which you wouldn't know, because you haven't seen... So Mothra was in King of the Monsters.
I don't know, in this movie, when they talked about the Iwi people, like, worshipping Mothra and all that as the savior, like, doesn't Mothra, like, kill a shit ton of people?
No, Mothra's usually a much more benevolent protector of humanity. As I understand. I don't know if that's true for all of them, because I barely watched any of the Showa films, but...
Fair.
I know, in modern day at least, Mothra is like the most benevolent of all the kaiju, functionally. Godzilla may help people out, but he's not really in it to help people.
Right.
He's more just in it to help the planet, and we happen to live on it. But Mothra actually cares about mankind, so Mothra's back, she gets Godzilla and Kong to knock it the fuck off. Well, mostly Godzilla, I mean, to be fair, Kong did get attacked. And then they all team up and kick ass, and I'm a little mad at this Rodan erasure, but... Oh well. It's fine. 3 of them are... Three's fine.
Right.
I barely said anything about Mini Kong.
Oh yeah, there's a Mini Kong.
Oh wait, he's called Suko. Right. He's good. He's a great new addition.
Wait, he actually has a name?
Apparently his name is Suko.
I
don't know if it's ever said in the movie, but that's what merchandising and stuff is apparently listing him as. He's great, because he's a little shit.
He is a little shit.
But also, he's a little shit, but he's a little shit partly because he's a kid, and partly because he was raised in a real bad environment, and also is probably the Star King's son.
It's never directly addressed, but it's I feel like it is decently hinted at. But
Star King and Suko are the only Kongs underground with that red fur, so... And also that would fit what you'd expect a ironclad dictator like the Star King to do. Have heirs.
Right, yeah.
But, oh god, my favorite part with Suko is really early in, because he helps out with an ambush on Kong by some other Kongs, and Kong picks up this little mini Kong and starts using him as a flail to hit the other ones.
Yes, just starts using him as a weapon.
He is beating a motherfucker with another motherfucker. And then he makes Suko lead him to where the rest are. Suko tries to ditch him at least once by sticking a sea serpent on him. Kong kicks its ass anyway.
Right.
And then they form a pretty good bond, mostly because Kong's actually decent enough to him. Like, he gets mad at his antics, but it's a case of the Star King's obviously worse. I mean, at one point... Oh, man. So there's some really good bits with Kong interacting with other Kongs, like that one that gets up in his face, fucking jabbering, and then Kong just lays him out with one punch and probably kills him.
Yeah. I was like, he's more than likely dead after that.
Just gets up in his face, jeering and shit, and then just... Whah!
Yeah, it's like, wapa!
And then later on, the Star King sees that Kong has an artificial tooth and starts mocking him over it. And...
Which was very, very weird to me. It was a thing of like, alright, I know we're having the whole kaiju, like, acting thing, and don't get me wrong, it's great, but having Scar King, like, laughing at Kong like it's a freaking, like, middle school sitcom was just kind of like, this is strange. This is weirdly human.
No, it's classic, look at this newcomer, I gotta belittle him to establish my standing. But then Suko doesn't react the way the Star King is hoping for, so Star King's about to fuck him up, and the Kong looking after him basically asks for mercy on the grounds, he's a boy, that kind of thing. Obviously, we don't hear any of this, it's not subtitled, but that's the gist of it. Yeah. And it looks like Star King is going to oblige, and then he just fucking kicks the other Kong into a lava pool.
Yeah, that other Kong is dead.
Dead! So, Kong and Star King fight because Kong hates bullies, he doesn't care where they're from.
Right.
Captain Amerikong.
Captain Amerikong. Oh god, never say that again.
I'll say it all the time now. This is gonna be a once a week thing. I'm gonna make a new video segment, Captain Amerikong, where I tell you all about his totally real, not made up adventures.
Good Lord Almighty.
No, this is fun. And then the fight at the end where it's Godzilla and Kong versus Shimo and the Star King, and they're fighting in Rio de Janeiro.
Mm-hmm.
And then the final takedown where they manage to free, because Shimo's controlled by this crystal that the Star King has on his weapon, and then as soon as the Star King steps to Godzilla just chomps on the whip, breaks it.
Yeah.
Tsuko gets the crystal kill by smashing it with the Godzilla scale axe.
Right.
And then Shimo is immediately free to go, what the? Oh, you're going down, clown.
Yeah, it's just like, alright, you fucked up now.
So then Shimo freezes. Well, first I think Kong throws Star King into Godzilla, who tail whips him. I don't remember exactly how it went down, but it ends with Star King getting frozen by Shimo's ice breath, and then Kong just pile drives him and then just starts breaking him into pieces.
Yeah, it was just like, ugh.
Real good.
Very good.
So then they part as reluctant allies once again. Godzilla goes back to sleeping in the Roman Colosseum.
Like a cat.
Like nothing ever happened. Like this is just another day at the office for him.
Godzilla's like, oh, that was a good Tuesday.
You know what? That kid's alright. But if he ever comes back here again, I'm kicking his ass again. Tell you what.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's a decently emotional scene at the end. I think this is, like I said, I think this is why I consider this the best we've ever had from the humans in terms of MonsterVerse acting. Because once they find the Iwi tribe in the Hollow Earth, Dr. Andrews, Rebecca Hall's character, who has adopted Gia, is happy for her because she's found more of her people, and because that was the huge struggle that Gia was going through, is that her whole culture is gone except for her, so as far as she knows. So now Dr. Andrews is wrestling with the idea that if Gia stays, or wants to stay, the responsible thing to do is to let her go, even though it'll hurt. So at the end, as everybody's getting ready to go, she's preparing to say goodbye, and actually she does, and then Gia just signs, what are you talking about? I want to go with you, but this could be your home, and then she reiterates the home is where you are.
Yeah.
We're a team, and it's just, aww.
It's like, oh, that's super sweet.
It's really nice. And that's where I started tearing up a little bit.
Oh yeah, no, that was extremely sweet and very cute.
No post-credits.
Which was a major surprise.
I guess to be fair, they were expecting, I think this might be the last one?
Huh.
I don't know, I doubt that's going to be the case now.
Yeah, but I was going to say, it's like, you know what, I can see that, because how exactly do you top this kind of setup?
Aliens.
Ugh.
No, the Godzilla franchise has had aliens in it before.
Fair.
Now, not just Ghidorah, I mean like human aliens. So we could get Destroya, I don't know.
Fair.
Maybe bring Rodan back, I'm just saying. Maybe negotiate for the rights to Anguirus. Just saying.
Not this lawyer-free shit we've got going on.
Yeah. Got anything else?
Not particularly.
So this is definitely worth it. This, I hate to say it, this makes me dislike Ghostbusters Frozen Empire more. Because this feels like a reminder of, oh, right, this is what a proper follow-up to a thing that came out a few years ago that I really liked should feel like.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I mean, it's not the greatest thing in the world by any stretch of the imagination. It's definitely not, like, don't get me wrong, it's not gonna be... It's in my top 10 currently. I don't know that it's gonna stay there. It might.
Yeah, it's kind of same. I don't expect this movie to stay within my top 10 at the end of the year.
I mean, it's currently in my top 5, actually. And I, like I said, I don't expect it to necessarily stay there. But for what it is, and it doesn't really pretend to be anything else.
Yeah.
It's really good at it.
Oh, yeah.
So I think that about wraps this up. Next week, it's Monkey Man.
It is Monkey Man indeed.
Woo! Also, maybe The First Omen, if I have time, I can go see it, but...
I will let you deal with that.
If I do, I'm probably not talking about it here, because I'm trying to normalize seeing movies now and then not talking about them.
You know what, that's fair.
And if you want to know what they are, you won't.
Yeah.
That's the whole point. But regardless of that, thanks so much for listening, everybody. Please be sure to share the video around if you liked it. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. We got other links. You can follow them in the description. And until next time, this has been Under the Bridge with Cody, aka the Scarlet Troll.
And with Greg, aka Greg.
And we'll catch you guys next week.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye!